Good afternoon. Welcome to the Randall Cadenhead report. Let's. There's a lot of news to get into this morning, so let's delve it right into it. Iran is threatening a response to the United States threats of economic warfare. The United Trump is expected to announce harsh new sanctions against Iran later on today. I don't believe there's I don't believe there's really much of anything that the Iranians can do in retaliation, except to disrupt the oil supply or to cut off the Strait of Hormuz, cut off commerce through the Strait of Hormuz, which which Iran is effectively in control over. China China is warning that new sanctions will only escalate the situation, and China is thought to be Iran's biggest supplier of oil and buys about 80% of Iranian oil, or did before the war. The United States is also threatening to impose new secondary sanctions on countries that trade with Iran. Trump posted on Truth Social earlier that Iran is completely collapsing. And Ian Bremmer said on social media that Trump saying that Iran is completely collapsing is about as believable as Iran unconditionally surrendering. Israeli and Syrian officials met over the weekend. Last week, Israeli air forces hit the Abu Duhur air base in Syria's Idlib province. Israel said that the purpose for the airstrikes was to stop Turkey, who has who who has been supporting the new Syrian government's efforts to rebuild its military. Syria stated to its right to rebuild its military and to make alliances with any country. They also called for Israeli forces to withdraw from a buffer zone in southern Syria. Israeli forces have been occupying the buffer zone since December 2024. Israeli forces have Syria reiterated its official position that the Golan Heights, which was occupied by Israel in the Six-Day War of 1967 and was annexed shortly after, is Syrian territory. Israel says that it has killed another Hamas militant. The IDF the IDF said that it killed a, a militant who was affiliated with Hamas special forces in an overnight attack. Now, not that I'm actually mourning for him, this Hamas militant. The IDF says that it targets and kills anyone who it says was involved in the October 7th, 2023 terror attacks. The IDF also announced that it has launched targeted strikes on 6 of the 7 nights since Jared Kushner and Benjamin Netanyahu met last week for high-profile talks regarding disarmament in Gaza. Now, moving on to the Russian-Ukraine war, British Labour Prime Minister Andy Burnham announced today that the UK will be allowing Ukraine to manufacture its own long-range missiles through the sharing of classified technical information for British components. Burnham was in Kyiv for Ukraine's Independence Day celebrations alongside other world leaders. Ukraine is celebrating its 35th year as a sovereign nation after winning its independence after the fall of the Soviet Union in 1991. A happy Independence Day, Ukraine. Experts say that the missiles won't be operational anytime soon and won't be able to address Ukraine's most urgent war needs. The missiles won't be ready until next year at the earliest. Zelensky, Zelensky said that Ukraine is receiving fewer Patriot missile defense systems at the same time that Russia is stepping up its missile and drone attacks on the country. U.S. Canada trade Over the weekend, trade talks between the two historic allies, the United States and Canada collapsed, plunging the two nations further into a trade war that won't be good for either country. Both sides are blaming the other for the breakdown in the negotiations. Yeah, this is very surreal, and I don't see how I don't see this ending well for either the United States or Canada. Canada says that they will retaliate against the 50% tariffs being imposed by Trump on imported Canadian goods. The RCP average shows that President Trump has a job approval is now at 39.5%, with his disapproval being 57.2%. And the Rasmussen Report's daily presidential tracking poll, as of this morning, shows Trump with a 42% job approval rating and a disapproval of 56%. Hope that everyone has a great day and stay safe.